Hey guys, Grow the Farm Up. Today we're coming to you from a field of Enlist seed soybeans right across the road from the Poet ethanol plant in the area. What we have here are some Enlist seed beans that were drilled into 7.5-inch rows about May 10th. As you can see, very good. Let's turn this around here. As you can see, very good canopy. Very good canopy. As we're now sitting on July 17th. So you're basically looking at a 62-day update from planting to canopy. They've been at full canopy for quite a while. You're really harvesting the sunlight. Let's get down in here and take a look. Oh yeah, we got nice flowers coming on. See, these are flowers. They flower and they turn into pods, and the pods make beans. Now these Enlist beans are bred to be shorter, and you see there's a little cuppage of the leaf in Enlist beans. It's because Enlist beans are bred to take up the plant tissue here is bred to take up more of what comes in contact with it than the traditional bean is. It goes back to Harry Stein's first lines of soybeans. Enlist beans, I think, harvest better. I mean, look, they're pretty tall beans. I mean, that's a pretty tall bean. And they're gonna keep growing. And one of the big problems I've got with my XtendFlex beans is, boy, they lodge. And so I don't necessarily think that the bean being shorter, because I mean, look at how many flowers that's putting on. I don't know if the camera's doing that justice or not there, but look at how many flowers that bean's putting on. I mean, you have more pods per inch or per foot of growth on an Enlist bean, and they will pop off the top and just keep, I'd say 30% flowered at the most, maybe 20, 30. You know, some plants it's kind of a field average thing. But, you know, I've always said the Enlist beans just do not aesthetically look as good as the XtendFlex. I wish we were standing right next to an XtendFlex field. I could kind of demonstrate the difference, but we'll go get some video of one. But the biggest thing I wanted to demonstrate here is, what do you guys think about the narrow rows? I mean, you want to talk about weed control. Not too many weeds are coming through this canopy. In fact, none. And I've been at full canopy for over a week. Oh, jeez. You know, so they hit canopy in, I don't know, 40 days, 45 days. That's really efficient. I've often thought, as farmers, we are harvesters of photosynthesis. Sunlight. Nice day in Nebraska. Rains, but they've come with weather. So we were a little tore up with hail, but what are you gonna do? This field looks all right. You know, I think it's about time to hit it with maybe some carbon chelated foliar calcium, which is really a great tool. I found that Enlist beans really take that up better. Let's see, is that there? Focus. Okay. Last year, my top Enlist irrigated BPA was 112. This one this year looks pretty good. I don't know with the drought if you can really predict record yields, but we've been able to keep up irrigating pretty well. And as I said, we've actually gotten about, I'd say area-wide, about 3 inches in the last 3 weeks, which the countryside just sopped right up. It's not like there's puddles of water anywhere, but it certainly is better. Like I said, it also came with some hail. I mean, we could go look at some of my hailed up corn fields, but I think they'll recover and they'll be okay. Just some stripped up leaves. And really, you know, these beans here, when I first bought the drill, it's really scary scouting behind a soybean drill as it's just emerging. I know you guys out there that farm and soybeans with a drill, let me know if you understand what I'm saying. But it's really nerve-wracking. But then you come out here in July, mid-July or 1st of July, and then into August, and you get to look at this, and you get to see this as the result. It kind of speaks for itself, the drilling in narrow rows. I mean, look, this is the path we walked through. I mean, they're so thick you can't really walk through them. I found drilled beans cut a lot better with these big 40-foot and 45-foot MacDon heads. Drilled beans cut better, and then Enlist beans cut better than XtendFlex beans because you're bringing in less plant material. Look, there's just less plant material on an Enlist soybean. I think it's a superior system if everybody would just switch, but you know, everybody gets so upset about the soybean cupping. Well, you know, some of the first guys that broke 100 bushels an acre in soybeans, the first thing they did is they went out and they actually stung the soybeans when they were like, just like 6-8 leaves with like a 1/6 of a pint of 2,4-D. And stinging them and holding them back actually increased the yield because it made them stack more pods per inch. And that's what Enlist beans are bred to do. This whole stem here will just fill up thick with pods. The leaves will drop and they'll get a little taller, but they won't get, you know, they'll get 1.5 feet, 2 feet taller than this. I mean, that probably, give or take. I mean, they got a lot of growing to do. They're still vegetative, but they're switching over. You're putting on this many flowers, you're switching over, and you're a couple weeks past the solstice. So I mean, this looks really good in terms of weed control. I don't see any insects out here, so it comes with good, healthy, regenerative soil. I mean, I don't know what else you could ask for other than you know, bless the weather for the rest of the year. All right, grow the farm up. Ethanol plant. You want to see what that thing's doing over there? You guys hear about that pipeline that they're wanting to put in, I guess, underground pipeline, where they're basically going to take that, which is essentially steam. Okay, that's basically steam. They're going to put that in a pipeline from all the ethanol plants around the country, and they're going to pipe it up north into the Dakotas and push that steam down into an old natural gas mine. That's their plan. They actually approached us about laying, this is Highway 81, they actually approached us about laying pipeline vertical, or excuse me, not vertical, side by side, parallel, there we go, with Highway 81, because there's quite a few ethanol plants on this run north. You know, we're southeast Nebraska, but you know, everybody knows in the Midwest the Highway 81 north-south is basically goes from Canada to Mexico, and Interstate 80 east and west basically goes from California to New York. Not quite, but it pretty dang close. You know, it goes as far east as you want to go. Anyway, I ain't going any further east than that. But so that's an interesting proposition. I don't know. I mean, I suppose there's some carbon in there, but I mean, that semi truck right there with its stupid emission system is probably putting out more carbon than that little pump there. I mean, I don't know. Did they get some green money or something? Is that the deal? And so they're just gonna lay a pipeline because they just got like a government grant to do it. And I mean, I guess we'll have a pipeline there that could one day pump oil, but I'm sure it won't be up to oil standards. It'll be like a cheap ass carbon stupid pipeline. So they're calling it some kind of you know, that's their solution to carbon sequestration. While we're standing here looking at one of the, I don't know, best, most natural ways to convert CO2 into oxygen. I could be wrong, but and I've always said, you know, look at the river bottom areas, look at the creek beds. I mean, nobody ever put any fertilizer or tilled or anything. And those trees are 100 feet tall, so apparently Mother Nature's natural diversity knows a little something about what it's doing. So I don't know that we got to go all the way to burying 3-foot around pipelines into everybody's fields to do what? Pipe some steam? It's almost like some people, if they can see it, it bothers them. Like the black smoke out of semi trucks. So you know what we did? We didn't really change anything. We just shoot nitrogen onto the diesel particulate matter now, and we just shove it in a filter. That's all we do, so that the other motorists, you know, don't go, oh, I see black smoke, I don't like it. That's all we did. We just shoved it in a filter, and the trucks don't run worth a damn. No, everybody that's a diesel mechanic will tell you emission systems are the stupidest thing that we ever came up with in our life. We're not actually making motors that create less emissions. What we're doing is we're making motors that have a completely separate system that runs beside it that basically shoots nitrogen fertilizer, because that is what bonds to and helps lower the diesel particulate matter. It will bond to the actual quote-unquote black smoke, and it will shove it into a filter that you got to change every 100,000 miles, and it doesn't work. It refilters exhaust, shitty hot exhaust, dirty air back into the motor. All these new motors that they build need rebuilt every freaking 15,000 hours. I mean 10,000 hours. That's you're lucky to get that out of anything new. But I mean, just because you can see it, is that the deal? Like, people drive by and see that and they go, oh, pollution. That's not smoke. That's steam off of a bioethanol plant, and they want to pump that down a pipeline just so people don't drive by and see it. Wow. We got to get some folks reconnected with reality. We're a long ways off track here in America on some of these things, aren't we, folks? Wow. There's something to ponder. Well, GTFU. I'm gonna get back to work.